1 Samuel chapter 7. And the men of Kirjath-jearim came, and led up the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and brought it into the house of Abinadab on the hill. And they sanctified Eleazar his son to guard the ark of the covenant of the Lord. And it came to pass, from which day the ark was in Kirjath-jearim, the days were multiplied, and they became 20 years. And all the house of Israel looked after the Lord. And Samuel said to all the house of Israel, saying, If with your entire heart you turn to the Lord, remove the gods of the aliens from out of your midst, and the sacred groves, and prepare your hearts to the Lord, and serve to him alone, and he will rescue you from out of the hand of the Philistines. And the sons of Israel removed the Baalim and the sacred groves of Ashtaroth, and served to the Lord alone. And Samuel said, Gather all Israel unto Mizpeh, and I will pray to the Lord for you. And the people gathered together in Mizpeh, and drew water, and poured it out before the Lord upon the ground, and fasted in that day, and said, We have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel adjudicated for the sons of Israel in Mizpeh. And the Philistines heard that all the sons of Israel were gathered together in Mizpeh, and the satraps of the Philistines ascended against Israel. And the sons of Israel heard and were fearful from the face of the Philistines. And the sons of Israel said to Samuel, Do not remain silent from us, to not yell to the Lord your God, that he shall deliver us from out of the hand of the Philistines. And Samuel took one suckling lamb, and offered it for a whole burnt offering to the Lord with all the people. And Samuel yelled to the Lord over Israel, and the Lord heeded him. And as Samuel was offering the whole burnt offering, that the Philistines led forward for war against Israel. And the Lord thundered with a great voice in that day against the Philistines. And they were confounded, and failed before Israel. And the men of Israel came forth from out of Mizpeh, and pursued the Philistines, and struck them under Beth-kar. And Samuel took one stone, and set it between Mizpeh and between the old city, and called the name of it Ebenezer, signifying Stone of the Helper. And he said, Unto here the Lord helped us. And the Lord humbled the Philistines, and they proceeded not any longer to come unto the border of Israel. And the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. And the cities were given back which the Philistines took from the sons of Israel, from Ekron unto Gath. And the border of Israel was removed from out of the hand of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and between the Amorite. And Samuel adjudicated for Israel all the days of his life. And he went according to year by year, and circled about Bethel, and Gilgal, and Mizpeh, and adjudicated for Israel in all these places. And his returning was unto Ramah, for his house was there. And he adjudicated for Israel there. And he built there an altar to the Lord.